The Diary of Samuel Pepys, 21st of March, 1660. To my lords, but the wind very high against us, and the weather bad, we could not go today. Here I did very much business, and then to my Lord Widrington's, from my lord, with his desire that he might have the disposal of the writs of the Cinque Ports. My lord was very civil to me, and called for wine, and writ a long letter in answer. Thence I went to a tavern over against Mr. Pierce's, with Judge Advocate Fowler and Mr. Burr, and sat and drank with them 2 or 3 pints of wine. After that to Mr. Crews again, and gave my lord an account of what I had done, and so about my business to take leave of my father and mother, which by a mistake I have put down yesterday. Thence to Westminster to Crisp's, where we were very merry. The old woman sent for a supper for me, and gave me a handkerchief with strawberry buttons on it, and so to bed. The 22nd of March, 1660. Up very early, and set things in order at my house, and so took leave of Mr. Crisp and her daughter, who was in bed, and of Mrs. Hunt, then to my lord's lodgings at the gate, and did so there, where Mr. Hawley came to me, and I gave him the key of my house to keep, and he went with me to Mr. Crews, and there I took my last leave of him. But the weather continuing very bad, my lord would not go today. My lord spent this morning private sealing of his last will and testament with Mr. William Montague. After that I went forth about my own business to buy a pair of riding grey serge stockings and sword and belt and hose, and after that took Wotton and Bridgeton to the Pope's Head Tavern in Chancery Lane, where Gilb, Holland and Shelston were, and we dined and drank a great deal of wine, and they paid all. Strange how these people do now promise me anything, one a rapier, the other a vessel of wine or a gun, and one offered me his silver hatband to do him a courtesy. I pray God to keep me from being proud or too much lifted up hereby. After that to Westminster, and took leave of Kate Sturpin, who was very sorry to part with me, and after that of Mr. George Montague, and received my warrant of Mr. Blackburn to be secretary to the 2 generals of the fleet. Then to take my leave of the clerks of the council, and thence Doling and Llewellyn would have me go with them to Mount's chamber, where we sat and talked, and then I went away. So to my lord, in my way meeting Chetwynd and Swan, and bade them farewell, where I lay all night with Mr. Andrews. This day Mr. Shepley went away on board, and I sent my boy with him. This day also Mrs. Jemima went to Marrowbone, so I could not see her. Mr. Moore being out of town tonight, I could not take leave of him nor speak to him about business, which troubled me much. I left my small case, therefore, with Mr. Andrews for him.